Alright, so we got the engine in, we got the radiator in. What you're going to have to do is leave this support bar out so you can get the radiator in, and then don't forget to put the intercooler in. Once the intercooler is in place, there's going to be a couple bolts on the back side here. These little rubber bungs here, those got to come out, 1 and 2 back in here holding the Sinister coolant filter. That's actually going to go into this frame as well, but that holds on the brackets for the intercooler. Once the intercooler is installed, you can bolt these. The bolts, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side for the metal rail. Don't forget your supports for the radiator. And then on top of that, you're going to want to put back your little insulation here, your little, it's actually a diverter for the airflow. Pick up these plastic plugs here. You can get those at Advance Auto and places. They're just like these. You can zoom in later. Number 799-135. It comes with 15 in the quantity. Pick up like 3 cases. You're going to need those to replace these when you break them out. They're also good for on top to put that crossover backer piece. And that'll cover that. So to put the frame back on with the lenses, make sure you put your actual lights back in place for those ones on both sides. You're going to need an 8mm long ratchet socket, and a little mini one's fine. The bigger ones tend not to fit too well. And there's going to be one here, and there's going to be one on the lower, so that's 2 on that side. On the upper side over here, it's going to be the same thing, 1 and 2. You're going to want to tighten those down. And then when you get back over here, you'll have one there. You're going to have one over here it needs to go. And then you'll have some smaller little, I believe they were 6 or 5mm. They're going to go on the side down in here. And that's going to hold on your color turn signals, directionals. That's for these brackets here that get mounted back up in place. So you can see the 1 and 2. Those will need to be plastic. You can replace this one here too. So, sorry. There'll be 1 there and 2 there. You can kind of follow what's going on there. And then hooking up the transmission cooler here. Mine's been modified to fit the Bulletproof Diesel oil cooler. It's been cut, modified, and dropped down a little bit. You're going to want to make sure that you have over here this little plastic piece here to kind of protect the rubbing here and there on both ends. You're going to put the power steering pump cooler back in place on those 2 pegs there. There's actually another air diverter here to make sure all the airflow comes up and it's forced into the actual cooling system. That'll go there, the little tiny push plugs there. So we'll put that in place and then put the intercooler back, or the power steering cooler back in place. So I'm going to get this portion all bolted back up. You can see here the little plastic plugs in there. That's actually supposed to go into this one here, little hole there. Same thing on that side. Again, this one's been cut and modified to fit the Bulletproof Diesel oil cooler. That's the hydraulic line there. And it's still got to run the rest of the hydraulic lines for the actual oil filter that's going to go over here, mounted on the back of that post. One long work in progress, but the end is almost here. Still a little ways, but we can get there. We still got to do the up pipe, tightening those down, torquing it to the turbo, and still bolting the turbo down. But that should be good. We'll at least be able to get some coolant in there, start filling the fluids back up. And that's about that. I'm also going to order up one of those Wolverine oil pan heaters. I know in the wintertime the coolant, the block heater works okay, but the problem is the oil not being warm enough to flow very well and lubricate. So we'll put a Wolverine one on there and we'll heat that up a lot quicker. Well, that's that. I'll be making more videos to follow.